Good morning, children. How are you? I hope you're all fine. Again, I have come before you to start one more part. So, we are in the lesson Laws of Motion. Before coming to this part of this day's class, so up to now we have studied Newton first law, Newton second law, and Newton third law, and its application. So I have told the forces of action and reaction and their equal and opposite in balloon rocket activity. Similarly, keeping that in the mind, today one more activity we have to start. And with that, after that, we'll continue to the next part of our lesson. I hope, do you remember about linear momentum? Okay, it is represented with P and it is product of mass and velocity. That also we have to recollect now for this part. So the lab activity, the aim of this lab activity to show the action and reaction forces acting on two different objects. Similarly, what we have seen in balloon rocket activity. And the materials required in this activity are test tube, rubber, cork cap to close the test tube mouth. Okay, laboratory stand. Sometimes we can call it as a retort stand also. Bunsen burner and a thread to tie the test tube. So this is one of the important question for the examinations. This is the experimental setup for that activity. So this is your stand with the base. Okay, so it is given stand. Next, here this is the test tube. What I told you, and here I told you to use a rubber cork cap. This is the cork cap where to use a to use for close the mouth. And this is the water we have to fill in this test tube. And this is string, or we can call it as a thread also, and this is your Bunsen burner. So this is the experimental setup for this lab activity. So this is a procedure, just carefully listen to it. You have to take a test tube of good quality glass material. So here the good quality glass material, actually in the laboratory, it is made up of borosil material. We can call that borosil material test tube as a boiling tube also. So because it can withstand more amount of heat energy when you supply to the test tube. That is the reason why they ask us to take a good quality glass material. And in that you have to pour a small amount of water in it. After that, place a cork at the mouth of it, what I told you. Now you have to suspend the test tube horizontally with the help of two strings. Yes, strings means thread as shown in the picture what I have already told you and shown you. And you have to heat the test tube with the burner until all the water vaporizes. After water vaporizes, the cork cap blows out. So you have to observe the test tube recoils in the direction opposite to the direction of the cork. So I told you what is that the cork cap blows out. So when the cork cap blows out, what happens to the test tube in which direction it is moving? Recoil means just moving here. So not only that, observe the difference in the velocity of the cork appears to have and that of the recoiling of the test tube. Now we have to come to the conclusion. So what is this? As the cork blows out to the right, that is action, an equal reaction develops on the test tube moving the tube to the left, that is reaction. So according to what I told, this is a lab activity related to Newton's third law. Okay, and one more point also you have to remember. Newton's second law point also you have to remember. What is that? F is equal to ma. So in that m is mass and a is acceleration. The moment of the cork right side, that comes under action. The moment of the test tube to the left side, that comes under reaction. What is this? That means both the magnitudes of force exerted are equal. Then F is equal to ma, we know. So to equate uh, F is equal to ma on both the sides. Here, one body's mass is less, the other body's mass is more. So automatically, to equate both F's, acceleration will be changing. So that is the reason. See, the test tube is much heavier compared to the cork. Therefore, the acceleration produced in the test tube is much smaller than that in the case of cork. I hope you have understood. So to equate both the forces, one body having more mass, one body is having less mass. So automatically the body which is having more mass will be experienced with lower acceleration. The one body which is having less mass will be experiencing more acceleration. Okay, I hope you have understood. So that is the case. The test tube is much heavier compared to the cork. Therefore, the acceleration produced in the test tube, the movement of a test tube will be less as compared to the cork. So, and one more point you have to remember here, acceleration is nothing but rate of change in velocity. So, I will come in the terms of velocity now. The velocity of the tube is much smaller than the velocity of the cork. Now, law of conservation of momentum. Now recollect what is momentum. Momentum is product of mass into velocity and it is represented with P. Okay, now we have to know what is the statement for law of conservation of momentum. When two or more bodies interact with one another, the vector sum of their linear momentum remains constant, that is conserved, and it is not affected due to their mutual action and reaction. And the only one condition is that no external unbalanced forces should be acted on the system of the bodies. So this is the statement. So for that, we will discuss in detail. So to prove this law, we have to consider a ideal collision experiment between two bodies. Here, two bodies means we can take in general two objects or two balls or whatever you imagine. Here, I'll consider two balls. So the ball A and ball B. Okay. Now, suppose the ball A and ball B are moving in same direction along a straight line with different velocities. Let us consider uh, MA be the mass of a ball A and MB be the mass of a ball B and UA be the initial velocity of the ball A and UB be the initial velocity of ball B. Okay. Here one more point you have to remember is that depending upon the mass of their bodies, if you see the size you can understand the masses are different. So size of a ball A is more than the size of a ball B. So mass of ball A is more than the mass of ball B. Automatically, initial velocity of a ball A is greater than initial velocity of ball B. So when they collide each other, see, for a short interval of time during collision, what happened here? The force exerted by first ball, that is A, force exerted by A on B, that is nothing but FAB. Okay. Next, similarly, force exerted by B on A, that is similar to FBA. Okay. And afterwards, if we have to remember that no external unbalanced forces acting on these two balls, then after collision for t seconds, the balls move separately, then they attain a different velocities. So let VA be the final velocity after collision of ball A and VB be the final velocity of ball B after collision. Now we have to apply momentum before collision for the ball A and a ball B. So momentum means a product of mass and velocity. So momentum before collision. Before collision, I told you it is in the terms of U. After collision, in the terms of V. So for the ball A, it is MAUA. For the ball B, it is MBUB. Now momentum after collision, it is MAVA for ball A, MBVB for ball B. Next, change in momentum. What is change in momentum? Because we have momentum before collision, momentum after collision. Then what is change in momentum? So momentum before after collision minus momentum before collision. That gives you change in momentum. So momentum after collision is MAVA minus MAUA. That is for the ball A. Next, when it comes to ball B, MBVB minus MBUV. Okay, now we have to apply equation, that is rate of change in momentum. So rate of change in momentum, this divided by T. So that gives you MAVA minus MAUA by T. This is for ball A, and for the ball B, MBVB minus MBUB by T. Up to now, you have learned rate of change of momentum of ball A and ball B. Now, this rate of change of momentum, which is placed in the ball A, that is equal to force exerted by B on A. That means FBA as per the Newton's second law. So, for that, we'll write FBA is equal to rate of change in momentum for the ball A, MAVA minus MAUA by T. Similarly, the rate of change of momentum for the ball B also we have done. So that is this is equal to the force exerted by A on B. That I will write in the form FAB, that is equal to rate of change in momentum of ball B, MBVB minus MBUB by T. So, according to Newton's second law, what is that? Force AB exerted by ball A on ball B, that is action, and the force FBA exerted by B on ball A, that is reaction. So they must be equal and opposite to each other according to Newton's third law. Already we have discussed in the last class. Therefore, now we equate that FAB is equal to minus FBA. So here, so what is FAB? This MBVB minus MBUB by T. That is equal to minus FBA. FBA is MAVA minus MAUA by T. So this is the equation. So your negative sign is here. Now what you have to do, both the t get cancel each other and you are left with MBVB minus MBUB, that is equal to minus MAVA plus MAUA. Now what is the next one is, if MBVB plus MAVA, that is equal to MAUA plus MBUB. This is by interchanging the terms on LHS side and RHS side. So here we have to understand what is the law of conservation of momentum. So what we have seen, total momentum of two objects remain unchanged on collision, that is total linear momentum is conserved and it is not affected by mutual action and reaction of the objects, provided that no external forces act on this. This is the statement for law of conservation of momentum. You have to remember that a system is said to be isolated when no external force acting on it is zero. One more thing you have to remember what I told you. MAVA plus MBVB, that is what my total momentum of two balls after collision. Next, MBUB plus MAUA, that is equal to total momentum of the two balls before collision. That means whatever the equation I have shown, total momentum of the two balls remain unchanged on collision. That is, total linear momentum is conserved. Okay, so you have to remember in such a way. So in general, we have to remember in place of AB, I can take, when you do the numericals, you can take body 1 as one body as a 1, you take a second body as 2 as a symbol, so that I can modify the equation in this way, that is m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. This is v1 is the velocity of the first body, final velocity, v2 is the final velocity of the second body, m1 is the mass of the first body, m2 is the mass of the second body, and similarly f1 and m2 here, and u1 is the initial velocity of the body before collision, and u2 is the second body's initial velocity before collision. In numericals, we have to use this formula. What is that? In general, m1 v1 plus m2 v2, that is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. That means total momentum after collision is equal to total momentum before collision. Like this, total momentum is conserved. So in today's class, we have learned an activity related to action and reaction uh, in a test tube, and along with that, law of conservation of momentum statement and its derivation. So with that, I'll complete today's class. See you in the next online video. Thank you, children.